Welcome back to NASCAR Heat 5, folks. Today we've got Texas Speedway 100 laps. We are in the Final Four already, so all we're going to do out here is try to get that top 5 or try to play spoiler to somebody else who could have gotten in, and we're able to take that role from them. Anyway, let's get out there, do what we can do, and we will see you at qualifying. Yeah, we were close. You never expect it to end up happening. So let's just get out there, do our qualifying, find out where we're going to stand. Here we go. Qualifying lap now underway. Just got to see what we can do. What kind of a lap are we going to be able to put down? Of course, we want to keep it as stable as possible, but we want to have our exit speed be as good as it can. And you know, it's all right. Lap feels good. We're going to get loose here because I went off of it very wrong. That's going to hit the wall, and that's going to cost us. And it's not going to be a great lap because of it. 18th place. Going to have to pay attention to that. Get loose out of 4. I remember that before. It's not wonderful. Top 5, Matt Malone, Jeremiah Graham, John Perez, your first playoff driver in the top 5. Michael Chavez, Max Cost, playoff driver. Casey Kane in 6th. Eliza Bethel, playoff driver in 8th. And David Schildhouse, 9th. Taylor Carpenter, 10th. Bryce Egan, playoff driver, 13th. AJ Hale, 14th. We're in 18th. Matthias Espinoza, 19th. Timothy Mathis, 21st. Lane Timbergen, playoff driver, 25th. Bernardo De Oliveira, 32nd. Bradshaw Stout, 34th. Parker Smith, 36th.
Coming to the green, driver.
We'll be starting on the outside of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Now. Let's go.
It's got to be crowded up against the wall. Not a big fan of that. Move, sir. We're just going to stay on the outside, I guess. 22 laps in stage 1. I just saw it.
Still there? All right, you're clear.
Now we're going to get on the outside of Gary Norton and try to hold on to this as we come through turn number 2. Nice slingshot move for us. That's going to bring us up into the top 10 briefly. We're going to lose it right away. Let me see if I can fall in behind Schildhouse. Ooh. I'm so glad I saw Sammy Smith out of the corner of my eye. I thought Schildhouse was the only one down there. No contact. We're good.
Careful, still there.
As we get a huge run, but we come off the gas again, trying to avoid contact. There's two sides to being a racer, racing and being clean, and of course we want to achieve both in a successful manner. So we get back on the gas. We are in the top 10 squarely now as we get around the inside of Greg Galding and David Schildhouse, start to set our marks on some of these other playoff drivers that are way up here ahead of us. Quick moves as we jump to the inside, or, well, to the inside of John Perez, but we're in the middle. Nice run in through. Getting onto the straightaway is going to help us a lot.
You got room. You're clear there.
And there we go. Wow. That was an intense couple laps for me. Now we have Max Cost in front of us. Of course, that's going to mean that we have to be a lot more strategic. Jeffrey Earnhardt with a very fast car, and we had to check out of it anyway, so we lost some spots. We'll get them back, no problem. A little upset about that, if I'm being completely honest.
All clear.
Let's try this again. I would love to get around the inside of Earnhardt to avoid Cost. We got really loose coming out of 4 there, of course, and looks like Jeremiah Graham going to slow us up a little bit. Now we've got, again, Michael Chavez making a move on our inside. That's going to send us all the way up the track. No contact, just, well, now I had contact with the wall. I was saying no contact with Chavez. I just went up the track, and because I was avoiding contact with him, I kind of moved the steering wheel a bit much, and that put us up and eventually into the wall slightly. Still rolling this top 10, so that's all right. A lot of race to go. No reason for me to make super aggressive moves right now. Just hang out with these cars, see what we can do. We've got Carpenter in front of us. We've got Chavez in front of us directly.
Stay on the bottom here.
We're going to get a nice run off of 2 again. We'll jump to the inside of Chavez as we get behind Jeremiah Graham. He keeps it low on the track. Yeah, we keep grabbing, and that's going to get real scary here. Tires grab and are pulling us hard on the inside. I see Lane Tibergen, playoff driver, right in here in the mix now. It was just a matter of time before he got a really good run.
You're all clear up top there.
I was just checking the heat in the tires because it felt like they were getting hot, and they are. Although we've now gotten to our goal position, being in 5th place. We can just push it. We might be all right. We've got Koss on our outside, but we may be okay because he's running that high line.
All right, you're clear there.
And we are right now. I'm going to try to keep it low and drive away from him, and we do. And we hang on to it while increasing our speed a little bit. Get Jeremiah Graham between me and Koss would be amazing.
Careful, still there.
As Eliza Bethel is leading this race, Jeffrey Earnhardt, who started right next to us
Still there.
in 17th place, has made his way all the way up to 2nd place. We're in 3rd place, proving that both of us
Good job.
are solid drivers in this one. Jeremiah Graham stays high there, opening the door for Max Koss, and that's not great. Again, of course, we want that gap between us, but Graham took the high line, and that just left it wide open. Now we have to see. We've driven about 9 laps, and we have to see if we can maybe catch Jeffrey Earnhardt. Can we get Max Koss to lose some time on us? These are all massive questions, all while making sure we don't burn the tires completely off the car. .2 seconds between us and Earnhardt. And Taylor Carpenter gets around Max Koss. Huge shout out to him, because that gives us a little bit of a breather in the fact that we're able to not worry about Koss doing something insane. Lane Tibergen gets around Koss as well. A little more concerning as he's a playoff driver. Yes, we have made it into the round of 4, but the more we can keep people behind us, the better. And of course, if oh, we did it again. Shoot, we got it. We're fine.
That's the halfway mark.
With Eliza Bethel up there, she wins. She's in the Final 4 as well, so good for her. But there's 2 restarts at least to come. The restart for Stage 2 and the restart for the final stage. In the interim, we're halfway through this one, so we're going to speed things up until the end of Stage number 1. And that's when we'll be back on the mic, unless there's a caution beforehand. Taking a look real quick at where your playoff drivers on the top 10 are. Eliza Bethel wins the stage. We're in 3rd. Lane in 4th. Bryce in 8th. Koss in 10th. We're going to pit. Hopefully we get a good pit stop. We do. We jump in front of Bethel, so we'll be starting on pole for stage number 2.
Flag in his hand. Almost ready.
Let's see what we can do with it. Put down some solid laps. Get a nice jump off the line. Not have anything to mess with us as we're trying to drive through 1 and 2, get as much of a lead as possible, as we don't have any other cars interrupting us, I mean. And the biggest question is, can we maintain something like this? The true answer is probably not. Probably not. we'll do what we can, but I don't foresee us maintaining a lead through this. Jeffrey Earnhardt does jump around Eliza Bethel. Lane drops back to 5th place. And then out of the top 5 as Sammy Smith gets the pass done. We'll keep an eye on that as if Jeffrey Earnhardt passes us, it's not the biggest deal. He's not a playoff driver. Of course, we want to win, but it's still only stage number 2 anyway, so we can be aware that we'll be all right. One of the bigger things is just making sure our drive out of turn 4, we don't get too squirrely. We did there. We got pretty squirrely. And Earnhardt gained a 10th on us that lap, and it was our fastest lap ever. So that kind of gives you an idea. Not great. I got that 10th back on 1 and 2, but we'll have to see if we're able to do something good going through 3 and 4 again. We will see. He gained his 10th back.
Great job, driver.
And again,
that's a fast lap right
faster
there.
than the last lap was, and we're still not driving away from the top 2 as Bethel has started to gain on us as well. So I don't really know how they're doing it, but we're probably going to lose position to Bethel and Earnhardt. And now that we have the cautions turned to not strict, the likelihood of us getting a caution at the end of this race are slim to none. It looks like Earnhardt's probably going to pass us soon, and it looks like Bethel's going to follow suit. Ooh, that's a big deal right there. Again, we just got done talking about it. Cautions are not really easy to come by right now. We'll set on the inside of Jeffrey Earnhardt to restart here in stage number 2.
Ready. Green flag, green flag.
Bethel behind him. She should be behind us, but the lineup seems weird. 12 to go in stage 2. It's a shorter stage, but then stage 3 is much, much longer. As we get another nice jump, of course, better gear ratio. But maintaining is the problem for us. Maintaining these speeds and trying to drive away from these drivers is just, it just doesn't seem to happen. Although we're up to 8 tenths, and I'll continue to try to make as much of an adjustment overall as I can. I just don't foresee us maintaining these gaps as Bethel does get around Jeffrey Earnhardt. Gets herself into 2nd place. No other playoff drivers showing up in the top 5 currently. That could all change in short order, though. Oh, we're doing all right. Bethel and Earnhardt are battling it out back there. Looks like, yeah, there it is. Bethel must be on the outside. Yeah, she's running that high line. And that's going to cost her. She drops 2 spots and then gets one of them back. Probably on the drive out of the turn. She gets a really nice run. You're not as fast through the turn, but you are definitely carrying more speed off that turn, and that's how she's able to do it. We're doing a little bit better this time around as we're maintaining a bit of a lead, but I don't think that it's going to continue to maintain. Just a matter of time before they catch up. There we go. 8/10 lead over 2nd place, all because of the restart. And we lost 2 tenths, 3 tenths there because I screwed the turn up. That's on me. Bethel not going away either. So we're going to go ahead and dig in and try to do what we can to come out with more of a lead. We only have, I think, 7 laps at the line, which is going to be when we speed things up again. We'll have to see what we can do to hold these cars at bay while we try to take home the Stage 2 victory. Seven remaining in Stage 2. We'll be back on the mic. Caution or end of the stage.
One bad stage. Way to go, driver.
Had to take a look at our tire stats before the end of that because, you know, I wanted to know if we're going to be able to run out a full fuel run on those tires. We had 11 laps left. I think we could have. I think we can, because we're going to have to find out right now. We're going to have more than 50 laps when we get back to the race.
Drive safe, be smart, keep your head on straight. Almost ready now. Got one outside now.
Got Cole Custer up here now. Bryce Egan, Eliza Bethel, both playoff drivers in third and fourth place. So that's the only cars that are of consequence in the top 5 for us. And with Jeffrey Earnhardt not showing up here as Lane Tibergen gets into the top 5, he was really our biggest competition, in my opinion. It's a big deal that we're maybe going to be able to get through this. Without his challenging, as you can see, we've got almost a second lead over Cole Custer. One of the things that I changed up a bit while I was doing this was I'm not coming completely off the gas, so we're slowing down a little slower, which is allowing us to get back on the gas at a higher speed as we carry it around the turn. I'm learning, trying to get better at not just being a thunderfoot, coming off the gas fully, getting back on it fully, and it makes a big difference. Cole Custer gained a 10th there, but we're right around our top lap time here, and that's pretty good. I think on these tires, though, I might be able to pull out something better. We'll see. We will see. I'd love to see it happen. I'm just not sure it's going to yet. With our current setup, what I was doing, it's going to change now that I'm changed up how I'm coming off the gas. Got 50 laps left in the race. We've driven half of it already. Of course, one caution and 2 stage breaks have cut out some of the laps we've run. So this is the big one. And especially if we don't have a caution during this stage, we'll have green flag stops, which is what I'm hoping for. Just adds to the challenge. And also, ooh, got loose. And Cole Custer is caught up to us after we did that. But also, with green flag stops, we have a chance to, hopefully, with our pit crew, give us a big advantage coming out. 2 tenths back there. Cole Custer is on us, and we got to do something about it. So we're going to do something. Maybe not. Wow, that felt like a really, really good lap. And he is right on us, and so is Bryce Egan. Huh. It was a pretty good lap. So I'm surprised. Oh, we got a nice run there, though. Can we maintain it, or are we going to hit the wall? We're going to hit the wall.
Car there on the
And we're going to hit
inside.
Custer. Little
Car
contact
on the
there.
outside.
That was not great. Now we're in the thick of it, boys and girls. Now we're in the thick of it.
Still there.
Get right back up behind Bryce Egan. That was weird. I actually got loose in the quad oval, but there was really no real reason for it.
Careful, still there.
Oh, that wasn't good. Car feels weird. Obviously, we got damage on both sides. Contact with Custer wasn't our best situation, but we'll be all right. Can I gain and pass him? As long as we keep this draft with Egan. They're able to get on the gas through 3 and 4 again way before us, but we just smoke them in 1 and 2, so it's pretty even overall. Let's see if we can... I can't do anything with it because I can't get around the inside of
Stay high,
Egan.
stay high.
Now I got to come off the gas. We're going to lose a spot to Gary Norton. All right. I think we could have done something pretty good there, but I didn't. I actually think I can push it a little bit more there. We will have to see what we can do. I don't know. I want to have about 15 left in the tank before we take that speed up, that final stage speed up to the end of our pit strategy or our fuel run. It's not really much of a strategy. Jeffrey Earnhardt is caught up. He's behind us. Bryce Egan leading this one. He wins it, and he will be in the playoffs. Bryce Egan is not. Oh, he's okay. He's in second. I'm like, he is not leading this one. How come it's showing that? It's because we see 2nd through 6th right now. Cole Custer's still leading this one out of nowhere. Kind of messed that one up. I was watching Gary Norton, and now I'm going to go high to avoid Jeffrey Earnhardt. He had a better run. I didn't want to really even battle with him. Eliza Bethel here in 7th place. Our contact with the wall was a big deal. We need to put down some solid laps. We'll do it. It's not a big deal. I don't know if we're going to be able to stick up with this group, though. We need to be in the draft to get as much speed down the backstretch as we can. That's bad, and that's going to get us loose, too. We touched the apron. It slowed us down a little bit. Not a lot, actually, but it did slow us down enough. See if I can get that run through. I'm just not. We're getting super tight through 2. Not, like, worse than ever before, and, of course, with the damage on the car, that could be it. Do we play the repair the car game, or do we play the pit, just tires and fuel, get out with a couple second lead on these cars and just try to push it as hard as we can? I don't know. We're going to get into Gary Norton's draft here. And hopefully we get back into his draft going through the turn. We do. That's going to help to bring us up to the group, although we aren't able to keep it down. We are doing well enough to stay in his draft, which is good. That's going to bring us all the way up behind them now. But can I make moves? That's the next question. We need to go very high coming out of 4. We get super loose. Trying to figure it out. Sorry, being quiet. Well, actually, got 14 left in the tank. This is time for our speed up anyway. We'll be back on the mic with you guys at the end of our fuel run when we are hopefully pitting under green, which is going to change the way that this race goes. At least, again, I'm hoping it does.
Careful, still there. Caution's out. Wave them off.
That's the dumbest curse word, curse word, curse word. Yeah, we're going to drop some spots. Only 2 as Matt Kenseth doesn't pit. Cost doesn't pit. Graham doesn't pit. They'll all be pitting in like 13 laps or something.
Green.
And we're going to go into these leaders' pit. We'll be back on the mic when we start to see some of these leaders up here pit. Wow. We're staying out this time because we still have pitting on the docket. Looks like everyone who didn't pit the last round is going to pit now, lining everybody up to be set up to pit with about 8 laps to go. Maybe a little less, maybe 6 laps to go. I almost pit like an idiot.
All right, now, be smart out there. Going green. Almost ready now. Green's out now. Let's go.
Well, since I was thwarted on what I was trying to do, we're going to speed it up until about 20 to go, maybe 15 to go. I was trying to get it. It would have been right around that area, I think. We're out in front. We're holding people off. And I don't see a point in... I don't have much to talk about, folks. I mean... I've got plenty to talk about in general, but not really about this race. The goal for me here is just to put down some heaters and hopefully keep us up here in the lead. Best thing I can do is put down some consistent laps. Right now we got 28 to go in the race. Yeah, let's come back with about 15 to go. That'll give us 10 or 9 laps before we'll pit. That'll be good.
Wave them off. Caution
I
down.
mean, I cannot. We had no cautions this whole race, and now we're gotten 3 in stage 3. And in your top 10 before we go down pit road for the final time, we've got Bryce Egan and Eliza Bethel, your only other 2 playoff drivers of custom drivers in the top 10 right now. We lost a couple spots. That's all right. That's because some of these drivers are going to have to pit. Some opted just to stay out. They're hopefully assuming that other issues are going to occur in this race, and we're hopefully going to make some adjustments here and get around them as we get up behind Mathis. That's going to prevent us from being able to just get on it and drive away. But jump to his inside coming out of 2 and fade up behind Bethel. We're in her draft, which is going to be helpful. Of course, we got so happy we're on fresh tires because I'm not sure how well that would have worked if we were on 10-lap old tires. 18 to go in the race. Obviously, we're going to keep it on the mic now because who knows what could happen, and we're not just driving away. We're going to get up into Custer's draft. That's going to give us second spot by the end of this straightaway. We're going to go down into turn number 3. I don't know, did Custer pit? I know some cars obviously did not pit, and it did not benefit them. I'm not sure why we lost so many spots except for cars not pitting. So, did they stay out knowing? I don't know what they know. We've got 25 in the tank, and there's 18 left in the race. Some drivers obviously got in front of us because they didn't go full pit stop. We did. We wanted fresh tires, and you could see. And I believe that's the difference. As I'm driving away driving around Cole Custer now, I believe that's going to be what the reasoning was for it. He went and got the fuel that was needed, but knowing that he could make it the rest of the way on the tires he had, he was able to get a faster pit stop than us. However, with fresh tires, you can see what happens to us as we're able to put some separation between him and us, of course. Bethel right there. Earnhardt and Norton all right there as well, so we'll do the best that we can to keep the gap going. Car feels fantastic. We do have Sammy Smith out of the race. I just saw as we drove past pit road. He was obviously one of the cautions. I would be very happy if we don't have another caution in this race. Of course, no more pit strategy for it. Just a good race to finish out this way would make me happy. 14 left to go at the line. And that leaves us about 7 minutes worth of racing. We're going to keep it on the mic here. So, let's talk about the future of the Cup Series. And I do need to bring up one of the problems I'm having, and I'm going to do my best, but I might give you guys, while I'm making them, I might give everyone with their own colors the same paint scheme, kind of like the old IROC races. Maybe like put 2 racing stripes down the top and give you guys your own race colors with your numbers on it. I have like a handful of races left. I think next week will be the end of the season here. And I've got, my wife has her craft show this weekend. She has a business and we take all her stuff to craft shows to sell it. She does an amazing, just an unbelievable job, way more talented than I could ever be. But I help out with that for sure because I support my wife. So that's going to obviously prevent me from working on these paint schemes. My boss is now on a long-term out-of-work situation, and I took over his position while he's gone on top of my current position. So I used to have some time during work to load up the Photoshop and mess around with paint schemes. I just don't have that time now. So I'm trying to figure out, we're still going to put the drivers in, but I'm going to have to do some work to maybe, because the paint schemes, when they're complex especially, the paint schemes just take a while to get done. Some of these paint schemes, because we'll be using the similar paint schemes, I'll be able to just, it's a different model, so I have to still adjust it for the new model, but we're going to get it in there. So think old 1995 IROC in the Dodge Avenger, or newer IROC in the Firebirds, right? Or is that Trans Ams in the Trans Ams? And you know, going with the color schemes for you guys, but not having your unique paint jobs quite yet. But it'll be cool, and then, you know, each race we'll pop another couple drivers in with their proper paint schemes, and then in no time, especially with us running both series again, in no time everyone will be all caught up and ready to be in their own paint schemes, period. But after I thought a lot about it, I'm like, how can I get everybody set up? Some of the work is data entry, of course, and that's not a big deal because everybody going into it is going to be equal for the subscriber drivers. Championship drivers will do the same thing with someone like Dale Earnhardt. It'll be easy enough to do his good wrench car. But then I look at some of the other cars that we have that are just a little more complex for me to make. Not all of them will be their car they were driving the year that they were in the champion, but I want to pick out some of the cooler cars that they drove, or the cars I like that they drove in their career, some of these drivers. Some of them I will pick their championship car, but other ones, like, for instance, Kyle Busch was driving, I don't think he'll be driving the number 18. No, he's not, because I have Labani, so he'll be driving a different numbered car, potentially the car he currently drives as far as the number goes, so maybe we'll give him a current paint scheme. I don't know, but leave a comment on what you think about that, actually, because obviously with the number changes to some of these drivers, they're numbers that they've had in their career, and I've listed them in the Discord. I've shown people what the numbers are, who's going to be what number. But listing that in the Discord, obviously, we're going to have some that we just put the new number on their actual paint scheme they've used. People voted on that, by the way. That's why we have that set up. But also having paint schemes to go with those is a big deal. Colt Custer is caught up to us, but we haven't really let him get around us. This is obviously not a foregone conclusion we're going to win this race. Eliza Bethel has made her way up into third place. She's definitely looking to secure her spot in the Final Four. A third-place finish is going to do nothing but really aid that. Us getting a second victory in a row on the hardest difficulty with drivers that are higher rated than the default drivers in the game are. I mean, it's another level of legendary difficulty, so it's really impressive that we've been able to accomplish what we have today so far and in the last race. And quite frankly, any race since people have maxed their cars out has been pretty crazy. I was testing something and I changed it to normal on the quick race. It's a joke. Like, it's so not stressful at all to drive. You can drive very calm, very slow. You can kind of get behind someone, set them up real easily for the pass. I'm telling you, this might look like it's easy here, but you get into these groups of drivers, and honestly, if I miss my corners at all, you see it. You see I lose a tenth, I lose 2/10, I go wide, all of a sudden they're right on my back end. I mean, I just had a really good lap for the tire wear that we have, and Cole Custer I didn't drive away from him one bit at all. Oh, it's crazy. So, anyway, though, back to it. The other question is upgrades for drivers in general. Obviously, you guys will be going into the Cup Series kind of similarly rated to where I am. But because of upgrade points and me wanting it to, take a while, obviously in the first season, none of us are going to be competitive. It'll be season 2 that we all start to be a little more competitive. So I got to figure out the point structure to make that happen. I feel like we were close this time, but I also feel like it ended up being... Now, granted, some people's strategies just weren't good, and they've learned that going into the next season. They're going to change their strategy overall, and that's going to work a lot better. But because even if they're not winning races or getting high positions in races, you can still walk away with a decent amount of points or be close in the standings with points that they're not currently in. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out a good balance for that going into the Cup Series 2.
Inside.
And hopefully
You're clear there.
that'll be good. We've got just a couple more races this season to hopefully put down our first championship in the Xfinity Series.
Great job, driver.
And it starts with another victory here at Texas. A great race for us overall. Let's burn it down real quick. I'm just going to spin this thing around a bunch and make the crowd go wild. I'm going to kind of get us right on. There we go. I was going to say, try to get us right up on the start-finish line. Burn it down. Leave some tire marks over the paint job for the Cup Series race that's about to happen. Let them know that you were here, Savoy, in that Toyota Supra. And there we go. Race results, top 5. Tony Savoy, Cole Custer, Eliza Bethel, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Gary Norton. Other custom drivers we had Taylor Carpenter 6th, Bryce Egan 8th, Jeremiah Graham 9th, Lane Tibergen 10th, John Perez 11th, Max Koss 12th, Michael Chavez 13th, Matt Malone 14th, David Schildhouse 15th, Casey Kane 17th, Matthias Espinoza 18th, AJ Hale 21st, Bradshaw Stout 24th, Bernardo de Oliveira 31st, Parker Smith 34th, Timothy Mathis 2 laps down in 35th place. Taking a look at where we stand right now, Eliza Bethel has all but secured herself in the round of 4. John Perez sitting in 3rd, Lane Tibergen makes his way into 4th, Max Koss, Bryce Egan, 2 custom drivers on the outside looking in, but it is a tight battle yet. Anybody could get those last 2 spots. A little trophy presentation for you. Fastest lap of the race goes to Eliza Bethel, 29.5. Beautiful race. We led the most laps with 60 of 100. Cole Custer, second to last, all the way up to 2nd place. Sammy Smith, tough break, started 11th, finished last. John Perez giving us a what's up, thanks sir. Ryan Truex, thank you as well. In the next episode, we take our efforts, skills, and delightfulness to one of 2 final short track races. The first one, Martinsville. The final one, Phoenix. $50,000 doesn't even matter at this point. We've got a lot in the bank. We're going to spend an amount of that actually on our next Xfinity car. We are going to top off the Xfinity Series. I know you might be like, no, put it all in the Cup Series. Trust me, it's worth it. It'll be worth it in the end. We have to go through next season likely with 18 completely maxed out drivers. And although the non-subscriber drivers aren't as good, they're damn near as good. So I'm going to have to be top-notch in all aspects when I go into the season next year. Anyway, though, folks, that is going to do it for this episode. I'd like to take a moment out to say thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And until next time, and of course, as always, you take care.